Welcome to Animator, the very powerful and popular post-processor that has been around since the early 90s. GNS Animator is brought to you by CDH. In this section, we will be covering cross-sections. Animator 4 provides a cross-section mode where the model view is created by passing a cutting plane through the model to expose the true shape of both the visible and hidden internal structures. To get to this menu, from the toolbar, go to Model and Cross Section. When that happens, the cross section menu will pop up. By default, the cross section is turned off. We have two different cross sections, Euler and Lagrange. Once the cross section is turned on, in this case you'll see the cross section with geometry on. This is the cross section with no geometry. And this is the cross section with cut geometry. There are many tools within the cross section menu. In this case, I inverted the cross section and will try and cover much more. One of the cooler options within this menu is the ability to dynamically slide the cutting plane using your mouse and the right control button, not the left, but the right. A few of the things to note within the cross-section menu is you can have up to 6 cross-sections per model or vehicle, starting at number 0 through 5. If we go to the position menu instead of cross-section, you see by default the cross-section is going to be at 0Y, right down the middle. You've got your X, Y, Z coordinate of your current cross-section, the position, X, Y, Z, in this case it's negative Y. If I invert it, you'll see it'll be positive Y. You can create your own cross-section coordinates by selecting 3 nodes, obviously X, Y, Z, and there are 3 default positions of cross sections inside of Animator. You're looking at Y, 0Y. You can also do X and then Z. We'll go back to Y and invert it. We have already discussed the 3 default cutting planes inside of Animator. But let's take a look at creating our own planes by selecting 1, 2, or 3 nodes. Selecting one node will actually define the Y plane. Selecting 2 nodes will create a plane perpendicular to your 2 node selection. And lastly, selecting 3 nodes to define your plane will define the Z plane. You will also notice the button for the best view. The best view button adjusts the view so that an optimal visibility of the cross section is achieved. Animator can handle the cross-section modes of Euler and Lagrange. In Euler mode, the cutting plane is basically frozen. It keeps its position as you see here, whereas Lagrange, the cutting plane is bound to the model and will follow the model deformation when the states are changed. This is Lagrange. The last portion of this video, I'm going to show you how to draw and modify grids for your cutting plane. In the grid menu, you can turn on the grid. You may see something like this. We have a center button, which will center the grid, but you can also see that the steps are a little out of whack. So let's change the steps to something a little more reasonable. In this case, 100 millimeters instead of 1,000 millimeters. And there you go. Also note that the grid is on the plane. Thank you for your attention on this. Please feel free to contact us with any concerns or questions.